Oh, so specific. Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to the Commissioners Board meeting for January the 11th. We're broadcasting via Microsoft Teams live event, also on BCTV, as well as Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll recognize my executive assistant, Anne Marie Grill, to read the public comment policy.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Anne Marie. Are there any additions or corrections for the January 4th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. There was no executive session since our last commissioners meeting. Any public comment on specific agenda items? Nothing in person, nothing online. And with that, we will move into the agenda. I want to make one notation. We need to amend the agenda. There are a number of letters that you'll see listed for RACP grants. Somehow we missed East Penn Manufacturing. That was on the list given to us by Pamela Shupp, but it was missed. The deadline to submit is tomorrow, so we cannot wait till our next meeting. I believe, as I understand from our solicitor, this is an appropriate way to handle the addition. Any comments, Christine?
You need to make a formal motion to amend.
I'll move to make the adjustment.
I will second the motion. All those, we'll gotta hang on. We're amending the agenda. We're not amending a motion. So we're okay with that. I just want to clarify for your minutes. Normally you amend another motion. In this case, we're making an amendment to the actual agenda to include East Penn Manufacturing in the RACP letter request. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. I do want to note Commissioner Rivera is not with us today. He left for Washington, D.C. yesterday morning. We noted this, I believe, last week, that Michael is the newest president of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. And each year, the National Association of Counties has a 3-day meeting/conference in Washington for new state association presidents and their state execs. So Lisa Schaefer, who is the executive director of CCAP, and Commissioner Rivera are in DC and involved in a lot of different meetings going over federal policy. One thing, I was able to do this in 13. One of the things he's going to be able to do that I've never gotten to do and would love to sometime, they're spending at least a half a day, maybe longer, at the George Washington Leadership Institute at Mount Vernon. I've heard from others that have participated in that program that say it is absolutely a fantastic program based on principles established by George Washington. So that is why Commissioner Rivera is not with us today. Moving into the agenda as amended. Item 1, authorizing under that budget department, adopt a resolution authorizing 2023 appropriations in the amount of $133,528 per listing dated January the 5th of 2024. A number of items under commissioners. Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing EH&D, Berks County's insurance broker, to place coverage for public officials crime policy effective January 1st of 2024. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair and John Adams, district attorney, to execute Savin maintenance and service agreement between the Pennsylvania District Attorneys Institute and the County of Berks, effective January 1 of 2024 through December 31st of 2024, to implement and use PA Savin system to enhance its responsibilities for victim notification and provide additional notification services to the county residents. Further authorizing the chair and John Adams, district attorney, to execute any future Savin maintenance and service agreement between the Pennsylvania District Attorneys Institute and the County of Berks if there's no cost to the county involved. Item C, adopt a resolution approving an updated County of Berks tax collector manual for implementation by the Treasurer's Office. The update corrects a misstatement of the federally insured standard deposit insurance coverage limit. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for CG Broadcasting LLC's application to the RACP for the redevelopment of vacant property in Spring Township for a mixed-use retail, commercial, and gathering destination, the amount of $5 million. Let me make one comment here. This is where we're going to be adding East Penn Manufacturing. I know a lot of people understand what these are. My new colleague may understand more than most because these are not funding initiatives of the county. The county is not involved in any money or making any commitment on these. What we've been asked to do, this is a state program through the legislature and the governor's office, and these requests are requests for letters of support for the project. The way we handle these, and I'm not going to go into how other counties do it, but what we do, Pamela Shep-Mennett, our Director of Community and Economic Development, whenever a request comes in like this, we send it to her, and she does the research to make sure that this is a legitimate project, a legitimate business, that is the kind of thing that is good for the community and that we should support. And then she submits recommendations to the commissioners, and the commissioners individually can decide how they want to move. As a rule, I wouldn't say as a rule, the norm is probably 99% of the time I've supported the recommendations that she has provided, and East Penn was one of those. So no county money is involved in this. If they are successful and they win the RACP through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, there's still no money or county obligation or county liability involved. If you think about it, it makes sense. If the state is going to put money into a project and there are millions of dollars at stake here, they kind of would like to know that there's local support for that project. So that is why these letters are important and not simply a matter of, hey, it'd be nice to do. So I don't know if you'd like to add anything, Dante, you were involved in this.
You explained it very well. I just would, it is very important. I remember when I was in the legislature to get that local support. So letters of recommendation from the local community is very critical, and hopefully these businesses are successful.
So I'm looking here. Where do you want me to put this? At the very end. Okay. It said it's O. Okay. I thought it was a D. Got it. Okay. Let me make sure I'm on the right item here. So that was item D. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for Albright College application for the RACP for the renovation of the Student Success Commons and Library building in the amount of $1 million. Item F, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for Alvernia University's application for the RACP program for the renovation to the American House building in the amount of $5 million. Item G, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for our city Reading's application to the Redevelopment Assistant Capital Program for the adaptive reuse of a building at 2nd and Washington, Reading, PA, known as Goggleworks 2/Helping Harvest Annex, in the amount of $6 million. Item H, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for Perry Commercial Center's application to the RACP for the construction and road improvements in and around whatever drive. I have no idea. Masseri Drive in the amount of $4.7 million. Item I, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for the Rose Corporation application to RACP for the expansion of their industrial fabrication facility in the amount of $4 million. Item J, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for Exeter Township's application to the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program for site preparation, construction, and infrastructure improvements of the Exeter Township Emergency Services Building in the amount of $5 million. Item K, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for the Berks History Center's application for the RACP for construction and upgrades of the Berks History Center building in the amount of $4 million. Item L, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for ByHeart's application to the RACP for upgrades and improvements of their facility located in Exeter Township in the amount of $5 million. Item M, adopt a resolution and a letter of support for HDC, Mid-Atlantic, and Landis Quality Living's application for the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Authority for low-income housing tax credits for the redevelopment of the blighted property at 6th and Chestnut in Reading for the creation of up to 46 homes for low-income seniors. Item N, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute the PMA company's professional liability general application, doing business as partners in parenting as part of the social services and healthcare liability coverage for Berks County Children and Youth Services. And as amended, item O, and this would be 29-2024, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for East Penn Manufacturing's application to the RACP program for their wastewater treatment plant project in the amount of $5 million. Item 2, motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth in the contract agenda listing dated January the 8th of 2024. There are 7 total contracts, 2 with the Area Agency on Aging, 1 with the Controller's Office, 3 with Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities, 1 with Parks and Rec. Item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending January 11th of 2024. Item 4, motion to authorize execution of employee payroll disbursements dated January the 16th of 2024.
I'll move for approval of the agenda items.
I will second that motion. The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move now to reports of our treasurer and controller, and we'll begin with Mitch Darcourt, our county treasurer.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today, we have an opening balance of $211,531,080.37. We have a balance to clear of $5,026,269.77, leaving us with a balance of $206,504,810.60.
Thank you very much, Mitch. And we'll move now to our county controller, Joe Rutterow, with the controller's report.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
As of the week ending January 11th, 2024, we have a total accounts payable of $21,402,605.61.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I do want to recognize we have Beth Jones, our clerk of courts, here with us today. As always, we welcome our row officers to attend. We have two that consistently need to participate in our county treasurer and county controller, but all of our row officers are welcome. Glad to see you, and welcome to your new role in the clerk of court's office.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
With that, we will move to Chief Operations Officer, and since Kevin Barnhart is on vacation, we have our Deputy Chief Operations Officer, Larry Medaglia. Larry.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Just a couple of things to note. One of the things I wanted to do, I know Kevin and I try to put a little spotlight on some of our departments when things are happening that might go otherwise unnoticed. In anticipation of the heavy rain that we had earlier this week, was in touch with our parks team. Brendan and Kathy had folks out in the water, literally, and on the bridges trying to remove debris in anticipation of the heavy water and the rising water that we were going to have to minimize flooding. And I said that took an awful lot of forethought on their part and a lot of commitment from the folks who work in parks to get out there and do that work. It's not easy. They were out there in some rough conditions and they got it done. Same thing down at Antietam. They did a quick check to make sure everything was sound and solid down there and in good working order. So we have a terrific team there. Just another one I wanted to
just highlighting that is one of the greatest causes of flooding, is debris that often is already there, whether it's a culvert, a bridge, a spillway. And so that's really great to hear. And I appreciate that you're taking the time to recognize the team.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a terrific group over there. In terms of meetings that occurred, just one that I think the public wouldn't see this, but I think they would be impressed. I know I certainly am. We had the budget, facilities, and jail leadership team meet to go over capital projects that are ongoing, to see the interaction and the cooperative work that is done by these departments to advance the public good, if you will, is really reassuring. We've got a tremendous team, and I thought it was worth recognizing them. And then lastly, these RACP grants that the board just approved this morning, or supported this morning. Pam Mennett and Derek, along with Ken Pick and I'm sorry, his name escapes me, our Industrial Development Board,
Jeremy Zabrowski.
The three of them or the four of them together went through and evaluated the requests. They did it in really short order, and I think they did a fine job, and I think they ought to be acknowledged for their work too. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry, and thank you for your hard work. With that, we'll move to commissioners' comments, and we'll begin with Commissioner Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. Just a couple quick things of what I had the opportunity and the privilege of attending this past week. I know that the other commissioners were also there as well. We attended the swearing in of the two new judges, Justin Boder and Jill Scheidt, and I'm sure that the other commissioners would agree. We wish them the very best in their career and their tenure as the Common Pleas judges. I also was with the other commissioners at the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance breakfast, where we talked about our priorities. I think most of them are in line with each other, so I look forward again to working toward those during this year. Commissioner Rivera, who is the co-chair of the Berks County Opiate Coalition, invited me to join his meeting, along with his co-chair Kathy Knoll from COCA, and I was impressed. And there's a lot of issues and a lot of information going down with regards to the opiate settlement money, and I was just thankful to Commissioner Rivera for allowing me to tag along and learn a little bit more about that. A very important group. I also had the privilege of attending an event at Centro Hispano with U.S. Senator Bob Casey talking about prescription drugs. That was a great event and an honor to be there with the senator. I also attended the LGBT Wellness Clinic opening this past week. Again, a clinic that is going to meet the needs of that community, the LGBTQ plus community, and I think they're doing great work. Michelle Deck is the executive director, and I wish them the best. I know my executive assistant, Lynn, and I, mostly Lynn, is in the process of scheduling tours and events as I make my way around the county to the prison and the Heim, et cetera. So I look forward to meeting the department heads. We have some scheduled. We'll be scheduling many more as we make our way through. So if anyone's interested in attending with us, the other commissioners or any of the staff, you're more than welcome to join us. So I look forward to those meetings as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Just one item that I want to go over, and I'm going to share my screen. Every year since 2008, I've worked to take students up to the Pennsylvania Farm Show and to Ag Progress. I haven't counted exactly, but it's somewhere around 70 students that I've been able to take since the beginning. And yesterday we were at Farm Show. I hit the wrong thing. That isn't Farm Show. So saw a lot of different things. At the Pennsylvania Farm Show, I see what we're going to do here, go the different direction. We saw a number of different people. I'm going to take it out of this mode. It's trying to advance on its own. So this is Senator Tracy Pennycook. She represents Eastern Berks County. Mike Firestein. Mike is a great guy. Mike is a lot of things. He's a farmer in Marion Township, raises pumpkins, cattle, sheep, swine. He is also a full-time ag lender with Fulton Bank. He's also head of government affairs for Fulton Bank. He is also vice chair of the Pennsylvania Farm Show Foundation. He started and is active with the Pennsylvania Farm Show Scholarship Program, which is in its 31st year. And since day one, both at Farm Show and at Ag Progress Days up at Penn State, he meets with us and our students, and I'll introduce them in a minute. We know who that old guy is. Representative Jamie Barton was also there. We met them, got a picture. Here are two students. Landon Davis is president of Tulpehocken FFA. David Garber is a member of the Tulpehocken High School FFA. And this is Amy Garber. She is a teacher and she leads the ag program at Tulpehocken FFA. And so we had them with us yesterday. Additionally, Representative Barton was doing interviews, and so he did an interview with both of the students and Amy Garber. He's actually standing, some of you will recognize the logo in the background. That's Bell and Evans. Scott Seckler, who's the president of Bell and Evans, somebody we got to meet and talk to as well, lives here in Berks County, although the main operation for Bell and Evans is Fredericksburg over in Lebanon County, but pretty amazing operation. The other thing that we get to do, because everybody knows Mike Firestein. One of the challenges of going on a tour with Mike Firestein is every sixth person has to stop and say something to him. But if you look carefully at this picture, we are not where you're supposed to be. We are in the back of the food stands. So this is the potato donut operation. They start 4 a.m. every morning making the donuts. So remember the old Dunkin' commercial? It's time to make the donuts. 4 a.m. is when they do that. And as we walk through here, we got free everything, as you'll see. Here we're looking at them making up batter for the donuts. Then we got our free shakes. There's a fourth flavor of shake. That's what this one is, salted caramel. It's out of this world. Now, the combination, well, you'll see a combination in a minute. These folks are getting ready for the fried cheese. I didn't have any of that simply because we stopped at the mushroom place. Now, you have to see this T-shirt. These are the owners. I don't know if I can. It's going to say, from deep roots, be versatile, live sustainably, and I can't see what the others. But this is a husband and wife team. They own the stand for the mushrooms. And so Amanda Burkhart-Sell, who is with us, she's our program manager for Ag. She and I both had a salted caramel shake and fried mushrooms. They go well together, just trust me. My wife didn't think it was a great combination, but we had some great food. We then went to a luncheon. This was our table. Some of you know Nate, and I'm forgot his last name, Supervisor Olinger. Nate Olinger from Rockland Township. He sat with us. This is Mike and his wife, Martine Firestein, and then Betty is from Lehigh County. Emily Wangolo and I are taking a picture at the same time. And there are other pictures. These are the pictures I took. We had several speakers. I'm not sure, but I talked to Mike Firestein. We believe this is the first time we had a secretary of the United States Department of Agriculture address the public officials, Tom Vilsack. I've met him before through the National Association of Counties. So he spoke. Governor Josh Shapiro spoke. And I don't know, I don't have a picture, but also our Secretary of Ag for PA, Russ Redding, spoke. Afterwards, we went and continued our tour. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Sheep to Shawl. We had to leave before this started, but it's pretty amazing. They literally have a competition where they start with the sheep shearing and take it all the way to a finished shawl. And it's time, quality, a lot of different things. But there's several different teams. Here they were getting everything set up. If you look here in the foreground, that's where the sheep would be. And they would literally shear it. And then a card, if you know what I mean by card, the wool, and turn the wool into some type of string. That's not the right word. Thread is the right word. What's that? Or yarn, and then turn that into a shawl. Pretty impressive. This is only the second year. We didn't take a picture of the butter sculpture. This is the apple wall. The second year that they've done that. So these are different types of apples, 2024 Farm Show. And this was our group led by Mike. Mike was already up there, so he didn't drive up. The rest of us drove up together. This is Emily Wangolo, our director of the Department of Ag. Again, Amy Garber, David Garber, Landon Davis, the old guy, Mike Firestein, and Amanda Burkhardt-Sell, our program director. And this is us on the way home. I think you can tell everybody had a good time. This is, again, Landon and David, Emily and Amanda and Amy and myself. And that's what I have. We do this, and people have asked me, why do I do this? And literally, it's because back in the summer of 2008, I was at a graduation and talked to one young man, Anthony Rentschler. He told me he was going to Penn State for Ag, and I asked him, have you ever been to Ag Progress Days? I've been to Ag Progress Days and Farm Show since I was a kid. Ag Progress Days didn't start till the 70s, but Farm Show's been going on for a long time. My dad used to take all 5 of us out of school, and we'd go up to Farm Show for a whole day. So I knew about it. And Ag Progress Days, I've probably been going since about 1976 to that. And I asked him, have you ever been there? He hadn't. And so I took him. Anthony today is a graduate of Penn State University with an business ag degree and has Yellow Rose Landscaping in northern Berks County. And I said, you know what, it's much more valuable taking others, primarily juniors and seniors, that are serious about some kind of career in agriculture. And so what I didn't have, and I'm sorry I didn't get a picture, I think some others did, the first place we stopped was Penn Ag. And we stopped there because one of the young ladies that I took to Farm Show many years ago, Courtney Love, reached out to Anne Marie and said, does the commissioner still bring students up to Farm Show? She said that I did. And she said, I'd love to invite him to our special Penn Ag suite, meet the students, and just kind of reciprocate. And so it was great to meet Courtney. I do remember Courtney very well because when I took Courtney to Farm Show, she was a senior at Daniel Boone, and she wasn't sure whether she was going to go to Penn State University or to Kansas. And Governor Corbett was the speaker, and I was able, right after he was done speaking, I took her up and I said, Governor, would you be willing to talk to Courtney Love? She's struggling to make a decision on Penn State or Kansas. And he took a good 5 minutes just talking to this high school senior. And shortly after that, she chose Penn State. She graduated from Penn State. She was at Lancaster Farmer as a writer for a number of years and recently went to Penn Ag. So it's kind of neat to be able to see the students come full circle. But that's why I do it, to provide something more than a politician going up and shaking hands and seeing a bunch of people. Every time we make it about the students. And recently, this is twice in a row now that we've had the teacher say, can I come? And we're glad to have the teachers as well. So if you're watching this and you're interested, you know a junior or senior, reach out to my office, Anne Marie Grill, and we'll try to connect you with either Ag Progress Days, which is in August of each year, or Farm Show. That is all that I have. Any comments from row officers in person or online? Our controller, Joe.
Thank you again, commissioners. I just wanted to kind of give you a little recap the last 2 weeks, what's been happening in the controller's office. Since last week, I spent the week with one-on-ones with the team, getting to know each and every one and how they contribute to putting together the CAFR or doing our internal audits. And I certainly want the Board of Commissioners to know that we have a top grade department there. We have a lot of good qualified people that want to do a lot of great things in terms of getting that financial information compiled and back to the commissioners on a timely basis, as well as our internal audits that are being done. We want to make sure that we can get those back so that that information is useful to you as a Board of Commissioners in terms of the finances of the county and some recommendations from the Controller's Office. So I want you to rest assured that our team is a good, solid team, and we're looking forward to some deadlines and timelines that we've put in place for getting the CAFR done earlier than it's historically been done, as well as our internal audit. So in addition to that, I was had a opportunity to do some visits. So Commissioner Santoni, I might be a couple days ahead of you, but I'm going to assure you that you're going to enjoy the different visits that you're going to do. So I've been up to North Campus, been through the 911 center, met with the library folks and the coroner, Berksheim, the detectives up in North Campus, and Agland and the Penn State Extension. Fabulous. We've got some great people running those different departments. I'm very impressed. A few of those areas I didn't even know that the library, that's where the library administration is for the county. It's kind of tucked up back there by Berksheim. So I had a great opportunity. Also had a chance to visit the Fire Training Center. Pretty amazing what's going on over there as well, and how the county is supporting our local volunteer fire companies by giving them the ability to use that facility. And so I'd be everyone that I interacted with this past week on these tours have been fabulous. They only had to remember one name. I've got a bunch of names, so I apologize for not specifically calling out different people that were very helpful, but I just want to assure you that I think you'll find your visit up in North Campus and those other areas very interesting. And I enjoyed that. Yet to be done is the prison, which I'll do tomorrow, and then next week, South Campus. And it was important to get around so I can understand how the Controller's Office interacts with these different department and department heads. And I've been very fortunate that our retired Controller, Sandy Graffius, was kind enough to join me and help make some of those introductions and get a real good opportunity to see the rest of the county. So once again, I just wanted to let you know, we've got a lot of good things that are going to come out of the Controller's Office this year, and I appreciated the opportunity to see all the other assets that the county has that's just not down here downtown, and we have a lot of fine county employees that are, I think, doing a great job. Thank you.
You might add, Joe, one of the core roles is auditing, and each of the departments, I think each of the departments, you're involved in audits from time to time, row officers, all those different areas. So having that knowledge, it's not just a matter of Joe Rudderow wants to visit Berks County government. Right. This is really part of your legitimate role and a smart thing to do early on.
Well, and the other thing is that, the information that the Controller's Office compiles obviously is important information we're getting back to you.
Correct.
At the Board of Commissioners, and learning what those challenges are. We're only as good as the ability for people to provide the Controller's Office with the information we need in order to compile the data to give it back to you. And so, we certainly want to make sure that you have every resource and tool at your fingertips to make the best possible financial decisions for the county. And it's important that those departments help the Controller's Office so that we have access to that information so we can get it back to you on a timely basis.
Sure. When are you going to check out the Treasurer's Office?
I know he's been busy, so I'm waiting for my invitation. I'm sure it's forthcoming.
The door is always open, Commissioner. For everybody.
That's a good thing. So thank you very much, Joe. Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll go to public comment. We have one online. Are there any in person? There's two online. Okay, I see the second one. First is Paul Carreras from Why I'm Missing. Thank you, Commissioner Santoni, for mentioning the Wellness Center And then John Mills, Ole, thanks for mentioning the farm show and the wellness center. It's wonderful having elected officials taking a real interest and sharing it with us. I believe that's all that we have. We'll close public comment at this time. Any closing comments, Commissioner?
I move we adjourn.
I will second that. The meeting stands adjourned.